Hello, Jaemell. Let me know when you can hear me. It takes a minute to get fully connected. Looks like you're in. Your audio just connected. And there's our video. Hello. It's wonderful to meet you, to see you, to get to put a face to, the person I've been texting. So tell me a little bit about where you're at and what you're needing from this session. What would you say is your main goal for today? The thing that you feel like would really help you level up in this first session?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
For some reason, my sound is
A little
it's
funky.
like what's wrong? Tell
Uh,
me what?
let's check the audio settings. So if you go
Turn
to
the
where
volume
the
down.
little camera and
Oh,
the
the microphone
microphone
button.
are, that little arrow, if you click that arrow and you go to audio settings at the bottom
Okay,
there.
I'm sorry, Vandy. Say it one more time, Vandy.
Yep. If you go to the microphone, there's a little arrow next to it. If you click that little arrow, you can click on audio settings.
Audio setting. Okay, audio settings. Okay,
Then
audio
once
setting.
you're there, you're going to scroll down a little bit. Under audio profile, they have original sound for musicians.
Say it one more time.
Original sound for musicians.
Original sounds for musicians. Sounds
hmm
for musicians. Whoa.
So once you click that, then you'll exit out of settings.
Hold
You
on. You
can,
said click original sounds for musicians.
yes. And then echo cancellation is going to be really helpful as well, probably. So
Okay,
under that, if you
put the check.
click
Unchecked
yes.
echo cancellation.
No, keep that one for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, keep that checked. And then once you have original sound for musicians on, you'll X out of those settings. And then in the top right of your main screen, it'll have it there and it'll say off or on. So you want to make sure that on your main screen that it says original sound for musicians on.
Okay, it says off. Original
All
sounds for
right,
musicians.
so click it and it should switch to on. Oh,
Okay,
I heard a little feedback there that time.
noise suppression is disabled,
Interesting.
but I still hear the.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it before, but now I hear it. That's odd.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me
Well, see,
see.
my other half is a content creator, so she's always on here.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
I tried to put my headphones. Let's see.
Ah,
Let's
okay.
see.
So it says that the sound from the speakers is being picked up by the microphone, creating a loop where the sound is amplified and resent back. So the speakers are too close to the microphone. Do you have an
Okay.
external mic attached
Do we
there?
have an external mic? Where's it at? Excuse me one second.
No problem.
Where's it at? In a loud noise that it's piercing my ears. I don't see the camera, the microphone. Too. Right here in the. Oh, and on the. Jesus Christ, man, come on. Right here in the kitchen. I'm looking in here. Oh, I wonder if I hook these earplugs. What about your headphones? If I hooked your headphones up, would it work? Because aren't your headphones connected to the computer? Oh my gosh. Okay, Van, let me try these headphones real quick if you don't mind.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, it does say that that's one of the options to help with that is using headphones
Using
instead.
headphones. Okay, let me go to
Yeah.
where's my dang? I don't even know where my settings. Okay, duh. Settings, Bluetooth and devices. Oh, my Bluetooth is off. That's why.
Ah, there we go. And once you have them connected, you should have the option in your Zoom settings to switch to that as your speaker instead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. And
Okay,
I
now
don't
that's
hear
way
the
better.
feedback anymore. So, yeah.
I don't hear it either.
Perfect. Yeah.
There
So
we
the
go.
mic was too close to the speakers, is what was happening. Yeah. So,
Now, but there is a delay.
perfect. Ah, a little bit of a delay. Okay. Let me see if I can tweak a couple of my settings here. Check a couple things. Alrighty. Hopefully that will be better. All right, so tell me a little bit about where we're at right now in time. So, if you could accomplish one thing in this session that would make you feel like you got that boost you needed, what's that number one thing that you would like to accomplish?
Control.
Mm,
Control.
love that. All right, yes. And tell me a little bit about what you've been working on your own here recently. What have you been singing? What have you been exploring vocally? What have you been noticing? What's going well?
It's still a delay.
Mm.
You can hear me.
Yeah.
Really, I haven't really been singing. I've been cleansing my respiratory
Mm.
and my
Okay.
lungs. Um, Honestly, I've been done smoking for about 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I've been giving my body some cleansing.
Mm.
Um, my voice is still there. I just, I ain't gonna lie, it's been hard for me to sing. I've been doing a lot of runs.
Hmm. Nice. Okay, great. All right. That's awesome. So more of a wellness reset. Yeah, well, your body is your instrument. So making sure that the body is healthy, the body is where it needs to be first. I like to think of us as vocal athletes where we train our body, we keep our body healthy, and that helps our voice then to be healthy as well. So that's our number one thing. I love that you mentioned the breath in particular, that you've been specifically focusing on getting the lungs and the breath in an optimal place because that is like a sweet spot. If our air is working, it's like the gas in the car. So if you don't have that gas in the car, it's not going to go. If your air is not there, your voice is not going to go. So I love that.
And breathing is a
Hmm.
thing that I need to, once I learn how to breathe correctly,
Yeah, I love
instead of
that.
breathing through my mouth, I'm supposed to breathe through my nose, correct?
Hmm. Well, it depends on what you're doing vocally, but we are going to work on breathing through the nose as well. So we'll cover that a little bit. As a rule of thumb, if you have more time to breathe, breathe through the nose. It's going to warm the air. It's going to help to purify the air as you're breathing through. It cleans the air. So, breathing in through the nose when possible is great. That slower inhalation helps you to get that connection to your core and lower in your body. So, breathing through the nose when you have time. When you don't have as much time, we do a catch breath or a quick release breath. So, you'll breathe through the mouth in those moments where you just need a quick little sip of breath to keep you going. But if we can, we'll breathe through the sinuses for multiple reasons. But being able to feel that low core connection is something that's going to really help you monitor that breath and get that control that you're wanting. So I want to spend a little bit of time here at the beginning specifically focused on how we breathe as singers. So that's awesome that you mentioned that, and in relation with controlling the breath, because they're going to work together so well, controlling the voice, controlling the breath. So I want you to think of yourself growing a couple inches taller. So I want you to think from your hip bone, that spine is lifting through. It's like you get little pockets of air between every chunk of your spine. You're going to feel yourself growing taller, broad, expansive, tall, and regal. Singers take space. We own the room that we are in. I have seen people 4 feet tall look 10 feet tall on stage because they carry themselves with this regal presence. So expansive, tall, you're going to grow and expand when you think about that singer persona, when you go into that singer mindset. We're going to think about those shoulders being back, that sternum and clavicle lifted open. Think about your ears over shoulders, over hips, stacked in a line, that chin level with the floor. Let that jaw release down. We're not going to pop this hinge right here open we're going to just relax it down. Release those muscles down. Keep that tongue nice and relaxed in that mouth. Opening up that air passageway. So you're going to think about expanding. Think about that tube the air flows through. Expanding it. It's like you have a hose and it grows and expands. So you're thinking about this back space in the mouth expanding, this throat space opening and expanding, the trachea, the lungs, these bronchial tubes. You're thinking about all of that. It's going to expand and open. We're thinking about in the lungs here, those little intercostal muscles between the ribs. Think about lifting that open. So think about lifting and expanding with those muscles, an active muscular engagement. So we're opening and expanding to allow the lungs more room to fill with air, like a sponge soaking up water. They're expanding, and then you'll relax those intercostal muscles and allow that to release and close back to that neutral. So feeling that lift and expand, and then we exhale, release that. Do a cycle of a few of those at your own pace. Expansion, release. All right, I want you to put your hands on your lower belly space, and we're going to feel what's happening lower in that torso. So the diaphragm at rest is kind of like an upside down bowl, and it sits up here, and it's kind of right tucked up under your heart. You're going to, as you breathe in, that's going to press and flatten. It's going to have an elevator action. It's going to go down as you breathe in. And then as we exhale, as we focus that energy up and out, it's going to rise with that elevator action. Italians called it a leaning into the breath. So it's this steady pressure that helps that air to stay continuous and have that engagement and that support. So if you think about it, the lungs at rest, when we've exhaled fully, they've released a lot of that air. They're smaller. As we breathe in, they need to expand. They need room to grow. So that diaphragm pushes other things out of the way. All your guts, your liver, your spleen, it's saying, hey, move out of the way. So it's pushing that stuff down to make room for more air. So when you put your hands on that low belly space, we're going to use our abs to kind of help to expand and bring that diaphragm lower and give those organs somewhere else to go. So breathing in, you'll feel your gut growing and opening, and then you'll feel it come back in, it'll pull back in, and you'll feel like crunches or sit ups, that engagement with your core as that diaphragm is rising back up with that steady pressure to help with that steady, focused flow of air. So we're going to breathe in, feel that expansion, and then exhale, focused air. And you'll breathe in and exhale, focused air. One more. Breathe in. Exhale. Wonderful. All right. So something that I find basically nobody thinks about until they're in lessons, I know I didn't, is this back space as well. Our rib cage in the back is so much longer than in the front. You have so much more room to expand there. And if we can utilize that space, your lung capacity, oh, you're all right. Yawns are really good for singing. So I had a dance teacher growing up who hated when you yawned and got so offended. I love it for singing. That open palate space is really helpful for singing. So the yawns, expanding these air passageways, they're really good for your singing. So
I don't
go
want to
ahead
feel
and yawn,
disrespectful.
embrace it. It's all right. I love it. Do it. You're helping those muscles to expand and to stretch, and that's going to be an asset to your singing. So engaging with that feeling is going to be very helpful. And the yawn actually allows us to get more air, our body gets more oxygen, and actually our body yawns when our brain says, I need some more fuel. So we get more oxygen to our brain. So you're thinking about what we're doing, you are getting that fuel that you need. So I love it. Go for it. So this back space, we're going to think about expanding in the sides and all the way around into the back to get even more connection with that core. So that whole trunk of your body, we're thinking opening and utilizing this. So if you hunch a little bit forward, you'll kind of close off the front and sort of force those muscles in the back to open more. It can help to kind of feel that engagement. So breathing in, expanding there. And then exhale. And try a few cycles of that. Breathe in. And exhale. One more of those. All right, if you come back to vertical, now we're going to think about the entire trunk of your body. And we're going to think about opening the entire trunk of your body, expanding, and then this focused energy just spiraling up and out forward. So you're projecting that air. Breathing in. Expand and focused air. One more time. And focus. That energy. Good. What are you feeling with the breath now?
When I breathe in, I can feel something going on right in this area,
Yeah.
over in these areas.
Okay.
Now I do know that when I do breathe in, my stomach is like you said, it's supposed to go out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I'm doing that. I'm kind
Good.
of focusing on that. Maybe I might be focusing
Sure.
on that a little too much.
Okay. It's
But
not,
other than
I think,
that,
a natural instinct to do that. We're kind of taught to kind of stay tall and suck in your gut. Growing up, we're taught that. So it's a little counterintuitive. One of my students, Derek, he says he thinks about having just a beer gut and just letting it hang out. And that helps him access that feeling. And he's like, I just think like, be fat, and it helps him get that that open. One of my other students said they think about being like a sumo wrestler, getting lower and like feeling more grounded and like ooh, and it helps them to get more connected. So different people explore that feeling differently. So you'll want to play with that a bit. One thing you can try, I want you to try this week on your own. Lie on your back and breathe in that position. I like to bend my knees, point my knees to the ceiling, feet flat on the floor. It helps flatten out the lower back. And gravity is actually helping you to expand in that back space then. And I'll put my hands on my belly, or you can put a heavy book on your belly, and you breathe in and out, and you'll feel this rise and fall that just naturally happens in that position. And try breathing there. Try singing a little bit in that position, and then come back up and do a wall sit against the wall like you would do in your workouts. Sit down, like flatten your back against the wall and slide down into a seated position. You'll
And
really
the chair.
feel your legs, exactly, and that core engagement. And you're going to be so aware of that breath engagement in that lower part of your core. So play with that feeling this week. You can practice breathing in that seated against the wall position, and then you can also practice singing with that, and you'll be really, really aware of what's happening in your core. So those will help you to gain a little bit more awareness in a different way with that breath. Okay? Nice. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a couple exercises with our mouth to feel what we're doing as we focus that air through. So the first thing I want you to try is we're going to go on a shh. You're going to be like shushing a puppy who's making little yippy noises. So you say shh and hold it out. Yes, and it's like very soothing. Good. Now we're going to try these little puffs of air. So let's try like maracas. We're going to go ch 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 ch. Yes, good. All right, so now I'm going to have you try like a race car on a V consonant. We're going to go like a revving race car. That's it. Yes, exactly. Can you feel that core movement there and engagement? You can feel that it's
Yes.
like, ooh, I'm contracting on each of those. When we have this
Yes.
steady flow, we sometimes aren't as aware of it, but when you have those bursts of breath energy, it's like you're driving, you've got the gas pedal in the car, and then you go vroom, vroom, vroom with that gas pedal. That's what you're doing with your diaphragm there and engaging that airflow. And it gives you this awareness. You go, oh, okay, that's what I'm doing right there. So that feeling. Now I want you to try on ha ha ha's. We're going to laugh, big boisterous laugh. We're going to go ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Big booming laughs. Try that. Exactly, yeah. And so you can feel that core connection. Try ha 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 ha. Yeah, and we get those puffs of air. Exactly. All right, so we're going to utilize that breath and use it intentionally. So now let's talk a little bit about how the voice itself works. If you touch your throat lightly and you swallow, you're going to feel there's a little cartilage box that rises and falls. So your little voice box there, that's your larynx, and that is protecting your vocal folds. It's there as like a shield to protect them. Your vocal folds, their main job is actually to help keep you alive. So there's one tube that splits into two. It goes your esophagus and your trachea. So it goes to your stomach and then to your lungs. So that's like a fork in the road that happens. Now, right at the top of that trachea, the vocal folds are actually your gatekeepers. They close to say food, water, juice, anything you're eating, drinking, it closes to say you go to the stomach, don't come here. So they're doing their job because we're both alive, but we have learned to use them to communicate as well, which is pretty darn cool. So we pull them together, they're in a little V shape, and then when we want to sing or we want to speak, we bring them together. We allow some air to seep through. So we send that air. We allow the vibrations to happen. Those vibrations carry through the air. Our eardrum is going to read those vibrations as certain sounds. So when you want to make sound, you bring those together, you send the air, and we allow the vibration. A lot of the time people think about creating the sound from here, like pushing it from here. But I like to think of it originating with the breath. Even though the sound does originate from the throat, the air originates from lower in your core. And without that air, the vibrations are not going to happen. So think about the air is what powers it and fuels it. So we're going to send that air and just allow a sound to come out. For right now, don't worry about what it sounds like. We're just creating sound. So I'm going to send the air and let it vibrate. Ah. So just sending it and feeling that sound happen. Ha.
Ha.
Good. One more of those. Ha.
Ha.
Exactly. Yes. Good. All right. So now we're going to allow the voice to go through some different pitches. So let's try sliding down this time. We're going to do a sigh into it. So a ha. And feel it transitioning from faster vibrations to slower and slower vibrations at the bottom.
Ha.
Yes, good. One more of those. Ah.
Ha.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Good. Now, one of the reasons I really like to go into the lower when you're first warming up your voice for the day or when you're cooling down the voice is that when we slide into that low vocal fry space, the body actually releases hydration both internally and externally to those vocal folds. So internally, they're going to fill with hyaluronic acid and swell, which allows them to vibrate more evenly and smoothly. They line up more smoothly together. They connect better. And then externally, it's kind of like if you had a sticky door that wouldn't slide and you put some WD-40 on it, it's going to slide nice and smooth so that external hydration as well to kind of lube them up where they vibrate smoothly. So sliding down like that is a really good way to get your voice going first thing to kind of help it to the body engaging and saying, we're going to use this now, and it preps it. Beautiful. All right, so I want to try just sustaining on a single note and see how we do with that. Holding out one single note is actually one of the most challenging things because it takes strength and stamina and coordination. So I want to see how we do with just sustaining and holding out on one single note. Let's start here. And we're just going to hold this note. So let's say on me, sustaining, breathing in, me. So whenever you're ready, we're going to try that. Just breathing in and then singing out. Breathe in. Me. Yeah, beautiful. All right.
The echo is killing me.
Okay, then I'm going to have you do it by yourself then, okay? And we're going to
Okay.
work our way down. All right.
And
So,
it's only on my end because I'm talking now, but it doesn't
uh,
say anything until
huh. And we had selected echo cancellation, which is weird.
the
In
late.
your
It's the
audio
latency. Then
settings.
go
Okay.
to my audio settings.
Yeah. So if we go into audio settings,
The little microphone on the left hand. Okay,
hmm
hit that.
so we've got our original sound for musicians. You'll want high fidelity music mode, echo cancellation, and possibly stereo audio as well.
Test speaker microphone switch to. So go to audio settings.
hmm
Okay. Okay.
So do you have echo cancellation checked on?
Yes, it's checked on.
And then high fidelity music mode, do you have that on?
Let me see. High fidelity music mode. No, that's not on.
Okay, let's check that.
Okay.
And then stereo you could have on or not, it doesn't really matter. either way, but that should help it. It seems like there might be a delay getting the sound from the mic to the headphones.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, still doing it.
Let
Jeez.
me see if I can troubleshoot here a little bit.
It would be. The enemy's trying to stop us, Vandy, but he can't.
I'm I'm looking. Okay. Okay. So a couple things you can try. Using a wired headset is usually faster than Bluetooth. Also, updating audio drivers on your computer can help as well.
Okay. It
So it
says, what
might
about
be,
Zoom background noise removal? It's not checked.
there is in your Zoom settings, they have options for audio processing or latency as well. So that's what we're going to be looking here for,
Okay, hold on. Let
audio
me scroll
processing and
down.
latency.
Audio processing latency. It says spatial audio voices will sound likely they're coming from the position. No, that's not it. So, okay, general video audio. So I need to be in audio, correct?
Right, I believe so. Okay. It also says if you close other applications on your computer, that can sometimes help as well. The computer might be sending energy to other things.
I think
So,
the only thing I have open is the. Hold on, let me see. Let me make sure.
yeah.
Yep, just the Zoom.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, why?
So,
Since okay,
another
I had
option would
phones.
be checking and installing any updates for your sound card drivers is another option. So that would be more with your computer settings with audio, checking if there are any updates needed for the sound processing.
Okay. Echo cancel. Let's see. Hold on. Go to automatically join audio by computer when joining. Mute my microphone when joining. Press and hold space. Play sound when muting and sync buttons on headset. Advanced. What is advanced?
Let's go check it. Let's check it
Okay.
and see what we can find in there.
Signal processing by
Okay.
window.
So it does have an advanced audio settings in Zoom. They do have echo cancellation options.
It
Um,
says auto on the echo cancellation.
you could click on high, and that will do more with that.
It's still. I think it's still doing it. Let me see. Yeah.
Rats.
I know, man.
So, do you have a wired headset? Oh, this sunshine is making my lighting weird.
It's because. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I meant for me. I was like, I'm like
Oh.
basking in the morning glow. So I was looking at
when it says
if
Windows and Windows System Audio Enhancement. Should I turn that on?
yeah. Yes, let's try that.
Okay, I turned that on. Still got the echo. I mean the latency.
Man. I don't think
No.
I'm having the latency in my side, which is so
It's not on
interesting.
your side. It's definitely my computer. Now hold on. What did you say, Chantel? I'm sorry. Give me one
Sure,
second.
no
What did you say?
problem.
Huh? You said something about what? Because do you when you're on live when you're doing live do you have latency as well? I wonder why it's doing that. Signal processing by Windows audio devices drivers. Does that have anything to do with anything, Vandy? No.
I don't know. It should be something about
It says
audio
default or
processing
raw.
or latency.
Yeah, the
Let's
okay
try
audio.
raw. For music, it usually is better to have the raw, unfiltered sound. Computers often try to filter the sound out, but since we're trying to do music together live, having it be unfiltered sound is usually better.
Man, is yep, none of this stuff is working. He said, I can't see the.
Man,
I'm looking for the latency thing that you're talking
yeah.
about.
Hmm.
Okay, microphone array Intel sound technology. Same as system. Headset.
Okay. So if we go into audio settings, so you go to your Windows Start menu, select sound or sound settings, and
So
then
go to not the
your
Zoom, but go to
computer
my Windows.
settings. Yeah.
Okay. 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 I'll get that one off of there. Let me go to my settings. Settings and okay, and
And
go to
then,
what again?
so when you're in your settings, you go to sound and then sound settings, and you're going to
Okay,
look
so
for properties to open the advanced audio settings.
should I go to? Did I go? Do I go to system to go to the sound?
Let me see. From the start menu, yeah. I think we go to your system, yeah, because it should be in your like settings
Yep.
changes.
Here's the
Yes.
sound volumes level. Okay, sound.
And then we go to sound settings, and then you're going to select your speakers or headphones. So you choose your playback device, and then you'll
Ah,
click
because
on
down here it says
properties.
input. It says choose a device for speaking or recording, and it has the microphone array on instead of the headset that I'm on.
That might help a lot, actually. Yeah. I
Can
just
you hear
heard
me now,
something
Van?
change. Yes, I can hear you. Did it fix
Aha!
it for you?
Aha! Can you
Excellent.
can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, that's perfect.
that fixed it.
That fixed
Okay.
everything.
Perfect. Yes. So it was an issue with the time that it was taking to get from the other mic to your headset. Perfect.
Okay.
And now they're connected. Beautiful. Woo! Well, now we know for next time where to go. Excellent. Yeah, sometimes it just takes a little troubleshooting. I always leave a little extra time the first meeting because there are
Thank
those
you,
little technology things we have to figure out. So I'm
man.
glad we got it.
That was really
Excellent.
bugging me.
I get it. I get
You're really bugging me.
it.
Oh my god. Go
All
back to sleep.
right. We're going to go back to that sustaining. You did a beautiful job on that first note. We're going to descend. So we're going to go a little bit lower. So we're going to hold down on this pitch on me sustaining. All right. Breathing in and give me a me. Hold it down.
Me.
All
Can you hear that?
right. Yes. You kind of slid into the note. So you found it and it was like, ooh, there's that note. The pitch was on, but you kind of slid into it, which depending on the style, we might want to do kind of a me. Can be kind of expressive and fun. For the exercise, we're going to see if we can get right to it. So listen to the pitch and then try to sing the note, like be right on it for me, okay? Breathe in. Me.
Me.
Yes, much better. That was better that time. Your onset was nice and clean. All right, so we're going to descend again. Breathing in. Me. Yeah, we had just a teensy little like wobble at the start of it, which I think might have just been a breath connection thing. So
It
make sure that
was.
you breathe in, you get that breath connection solid, and that airflow and the vibration are simultaneous right together. Get that coordination. Breathing in.
Me.
Nice. Can you feel as you sing through, the longer you hold it, the more secure it feels?
It does.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
awesome. So, what that tells me is we need to work on this connection between this is what I hear, this is what I feel when I'm vibrating this pitch. So, it's that awareness and connection. My student, that I had years back, Nolan, he came into his first lesson. He said, I've never done any music ever. And he could not even match a pitch. So you're leaps and bounds ahead of him. In 2 months, we had him able to hear a pitch, match it on the piano. In 2 years, he was performing live, getting paid. He's worked as an Elvis impersonator. He's worked with me in productions and been paid to be in them. So it's amazing how far you can go. He's performed in jazz venues. He's done so much since then. And I was so proud of him because he came in and it was like, you could play a pitch. And he was like, I don't know. So I know that you're going to conquer this. So it's that awareness and connection of I hear this and then I can replicate it. I can sing that same pitch and identifying this is what it feels like to vibrate on that pitch. Now, every vowel is also going to feel a little bit different on each pitch. So, this exercise, remember how I said it takes strength, finesse, control, stamina. So, you actually are doing really well with the stamina portion of having the strength and the breath connection, holding the pitch out. It's more that onset, getting right to the note
To the
and
pitch.
having the confidence and the clarity initially with that note. So it's like it takes a second to find it. And then once you get it, it's like, it's there and you sustain on it. So your breath, that work you've been doing to get your breath strong has been working. I love that. We're going to go ahead and descend again. All right. Breathing in low connection. The hum actually helps us to find it first. So I want you to do that, utilize that. And then switch to the E. Take a breath. Me. Ooh, I really love the ending there too. It was a really like a nice diminuendo or decrescendo where it like softened and like lifted off at the end. Beautiful offset there.
Thank
Lovely.
you. Thank you.
That was really nice. So doing the hum first, finding your pitch first on that hum, and then singing through on the E. So utilize that hum. We're going to go down again. So you're going to go Nice. Yes. Yes. Let's try one more going lower. Hum first. Now the me.
I can keep going.
Yes, I love it. Good. You have a really nice, like rich, like resonant kind of sound down there, and it has like a little bit of a like texture to it as well. That's like a
Thank you.
how do I describe it? Hmm, like like dark chocolate or like the little like crispy edges on bacon. I love it. It's really nice. It's like a
Thank you.
rich quality down there that I'm like, ooh, it's like, and it has like a little bit of a smoky quality to it that I really like. It's not like overpowering, but it's like a subtle smokiness that's really, really pretty down there. So nice, nice. So when thinking about that control, finding that note, humming it, and then singing through it. And you can practice that on different vowels. So take the pitch and say, okay, I'm going to try it on me. Now I'm going to try it on may. And then I'm going to try it on ma and mo and moo on different vowels because each vowel will feel a little bit different there. Now I want you to try to stretch the vocal folds. So we have two muscles that control these vocal folds. One pulls front to back, one pulls side to side. That one that pulls front to back, you have a lighter pressure on the vocal fold closure so we can vibrate faster. That's how we get those higher pitches. That side to side muscle, it engages more firmly and we have a greater pressurization on that closure. They push together more firmly, so we vibrate more slowly when we engage that side to side. So the lower pitches are with that muscle. So you're going to feel the adjustments as I go higher. I have to lighten the connection. As I go lower, I get a firmer connection there. We're going to slide low to high. So on whoop, we're going to go whoop and just sliding and stretching the voice. All right. So it's wherever your comfortable range is. Every voice is unique, so our ranges will be different. So just trust where the voice wants to go. Whoop.
Whoop.
Yes, yes, beautiful. Try that one more time. Whoop.
Whoop.
Yeah. Can you feel when it flipped? The first time actually was smoother through the transition. This time the flip or the little bridge, the transition was a little more pronounced. And that's okay. I think it's because you had a fuller volume this
Yeah,
time.
and I was trying
Mm-hmm.
because I
Yeah.
was listening to you.
Yeah. But I actually love that we have that little flip because now you have the awareness of that's where it happens in my range. You can feel where that happens. And now you know, okay, that's where I need to be adjusting and switching. So ideally, what happens when we flip is we're pulled side to side like that, and then we're vibrating, and then we go pop, and we engage the other muscle. So ideally, we go where the muscles work together for a smooth transition. But what happens when you hear that pronounced flip is they're vibrating and then they go pop, and then they're vibrating and they pop. So sometimes we use that on purpose, like, right? I maybe want to do it at a certain point, so I purposefully flip over. But then other times I want it to be smooth. So I like having the awareness because now you can choose which you want to do. We're going to slide high to low now, starting already stretched front to back. So you're feeling it in your body. Usually my first voice teacher I ever had, she said it's like taffy pulling in two directions, top to bottom. So you're going to feel a little taller with your jaw and that palate. So it's going to be this feeling of tall space in the mouth. We're going to start on wah, and then you're going to slide down on whoo, and you'll refocus that open space. So, woohoo! Try that.
Woohoo!
Ooh, nice. That was great. Try that again. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
All right, good. I did hear a little flip there at the end. So let's talk a little bit about the register spaces. At the low, you have vocal fry. And that's going to be where it feels like it's kind of like gravelly, like at the bottom of the fish tank. It's all gravelly down there. So that's like when I slide down to, They used to think that was bad for your voice, but modern research has shown it's like a little vocal massage. They use it in voice therapy all the time. Screamo singers use that all the time. So they mix that with like a chesty resonance, and they can do it for hours on end, and it's not going to hurt their voice. So utilizing that can actually be a really cool effect sometimes, having like a growly, like, hey, like incorporating that can be a cool sound sometimes. So we've got that at the extreme of pulling side to side. Then you've got that chest voice range. That's your TA muscle, your thyroarytenoid engaging side to side. I'll call it your chest voice muscle because we usually feel the vibrations lower in the body in this chesty area. So if you go like, ho, 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 like Santa, you're going to feel the vibrations here. Try that.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah. You feel that? It's boomy. And it's like warm feeling here. Like you just, took a shot of whiskey or you've got a kitty cat curled up on your chest and it's all like warm and fuzzy feeling, right? Now, the head voice muscle is that one that pulls front to back. That's your cricothyroid muscle. So that front to back muscle, the reason we call it head voice muscle is because we usually feel the vibration somewhere in our head when engaging that muscle. So try for me like a sad little puppy dog who's whining because he's hungry. Exactly. So that's your head voice muscle engaging right there. Yes.
Oh
Good.
my gosh. It seems,
Yeah.
and I got a head, and I got nice headphones, but it feels like I'm trying to match your pitch.
Ah. No, go wherever is comfy for you here. So
Okay.
your pitch for the sad little puppy. Then I want you to try like a little baby owl or like the Pillsbury Doughboy or like Mickey Mouse. Whoo, whoo.
Woo, woo.
Yep, that's your head voice muscle. Exactly. Yes. All right. So then at the extreme high, we have whistle register, or sometimes I'll call it falsetto register as well. Now, falsetto is a little confusing because some people say it referring to the head voice and some people say it referring to whistle register. Whistle register is that extreme high. It's like the vocal fry, except at the top. So that means we're stretching so far, we're only vibrating right on the little tip. And it feels like these little like bell tower pitches that just sort of pop out and ping and ring. Mariah Carey does it all the time. Men don't always learn to use it, but when they do, it's so cool. So I'm like, literally everyone has it. So learn to use it. It's awesome.
One of my favorites, by the way. Her and Whitney.
Yes. 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 How can you not? They're fantastic. The greats. So, yes, I would love for you to start gaining awareness of where those areas are. And between each of those areas, you have a little bridge or transition spot. So, you're going to feel something changes in that shape every time you go to those different spaces. Yeah? All right, so let's also talk a little bit about the shapes we make up here with our articulators. If you think of glass bottles that you blow over the top and they're all different sizes and shapes, you're going to get a different sound from each one because of the different sizes and shapes. So when we shape our mouth differently, we get those different sounds, right? So if I move my tongue forward or back, if I change my lip shape, more spread, more rounded, that's going to change the sound. How open or closed is my jaw? What is the relation of the teeth positioning with the tongue or interacting with the lip shape? How high or low is my soft palate? All of those things are going to adjust and help change your sound that you want. Yeah. So start gaining a little awareness of these movements as well. I want to try another exercise with your breath. So I want you to think of a really big dog, like Beethoven in the Beethoven dog movies. A big
I
old
work for
Saint
Amazon, so I
Bernard.
see him a lot.
Nice, yeah. So we're gonna do he just ran full out like a mile, and he's like, yeah, feeling that connection. Good. Now we're gonna try a little bit smaller dog, maybe like a mid-sized golden doodle. They were just running around the yard with the zoomies. Feeling that breath. Yes. Good. Now a little bit smaller dog. So maybe like a full-size schnauzer, like the detective-looking dogs. Great. So now we're going to think like toy-sized poodle. Like you could put them in a big handbag. Great. Now we're going to think like a Maltese or even smaller like a Yorkie, a real little one, or a teacup Chihuahua. Yeah, that's tricky, right? So you have to keep that space open, and it's just a change of direction with the air. Yes. Yes. Good. So our
Got it.
instinct a
Feel
lot
my
of the
belly.
time, yes, that belly connection. A lot of the time our instinct is to stop the airflow and then to change the direction. But in singing, we want to think of a continuous flow with our
I
breath.
haven't eaten anything till I got a little lightheaded.
Oh no. So that'll happen if you're over oxygenating. So we have
Okay,
to make
because
sure we're sending as much air out as we're taking in. So you probably were tanking up where you were
yeah,
just like full of air and then you get like too much oxygen, you'll get lightheaded. So let's take a second. We're going to blow all the air you've got out. Use it all. Yeah, and just release all of that air. Singing is very physical, though. We're vocal athletes. So be sure that you're giving your body that fuel it needs, like electrolytes, like coconut water, and, giving yourself. Um,
banana.
Banana would be great. Some potassium, that
Should I
energy,
eat one
right?
now?
Sure, go for it. Yeah, you can eat it, and I'll talk through what I was saying about that continuous flow of air. I love
I
it.
hear you.
Yeah, okay. So with the air, our instinct a lot of the time is to sing out and then to stop and kind of hold and then breathe in. And then we'll hold and prep for the next entrance and then we'll sing out. La 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 la. And then we'll cut off the air, we'll hold, and then we'll breathe in and we'll hold and then we'll enter again. The goal is going to be to release that tension that builds with the holding. So what can happen with tanking up is you breathe in so much air that you're stuck and you're like, I can't move anymore, right? And then we have to just release it all and reset. Ideally, though, we're going to have this continuous flow where the air flows in, turns right around, and flows out. So before I even start singing a song in that intro, I try to get that breath flowing in, out. And there's no moment of holding. And I time the breath where it's I breathe in and I sing and I breathe in and I sing, and then maybe I have a long break, so I breathe in and I exhale, and then I breathe in and I sing. So I want to time those breaths where they're ever flowing. It's like a water wheel in a river with those old stone mills, and the water wheel just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. That river just keeps flowing and nothing can stop it, right? Like there are big rocks in the river, that water just keeps flowing right around them. So we think of that air as continuous. So with that little dog feeling, the reason it was tricky at first is because it was like, oh, like the shift in the direction was tricky to navigate because you're used to sing, stop, breathe in, stop, sing, stop,
yeah.
breathe in, stop. And the goal is going to be ah, ah. My cutoff is the inhalation. So is the cut, it's not sing, it's sing. And the cutoff is the inhalation. It makes it a super clean break as well. And it helps us stay in that relaxed state. So something I want you to work on this week is finding freedom in the body with your singing. I want you to play with moving the body, like dance around your space and keep your body loose. You can like move your head around, roll your shoulders if they feel tight. It's almost like modern dance while you're singing. And I want you to free up the body. Keep that full body engaged in the singing process and just move the voice. So I want you to try for me, just kind of like moving in the space, stretching, and just let the voice flow like a ah, ah. Yes. So I know that the goal is control, but sometimes freeing the voice is what we need to find the control. So it's this feeling.
Uh-oh.
So sometimes releasing the voice, freeing it, is what's going to give you the ability to have the control and have the intention. So doing slides every single day. I want you to be working on breathing exercises every day. I want you to be working on sliding every single day. I want you to be working on the sustaining on a single pitch, holding through, getting those really clean onsets where it's boom, right to the note. Yeah, I breathe in and then I brrr, and it's right there. It's not sliding into the note. It's like boom, I'm right to it. Those are things I want you to be working on. Let me make sure I have your email because I'm going to send you some homework for the week that you can be working on your own to help kind of direct. Something I learned pretty early on in teaching lessons is that students were like, I don't really know what to do on my own. So I like to help you have direction and know what to be doing on your own. So I know the first lesson's a little weird because it's a lot of exploring. I'm getting to know your instrument and how it works and where it's at, and you're getting to know kind of my methodology and how I teach. I'm getting to know your learning styles, how you communicate, what verbiage works better for you. So in the future when we meet, usually we'll have a structure. We'll come in, we'll make sure you're warmed up, so we'll take about 5 minutes for that. We'll do some technique work. So we'll pick a focus or a goal that we say, okay, we want those onsets really clean. Let's work on clean, clear onsets. And then we're going to have a song, a piece that you choose that we'll work through. I usually recommend picking one that's kind of in your mid-range and more flowing, more of a ballad, because we want to conquer those flowing legato lines first. The voice is a legato instrument like a cello or a violin or a viola. It's very flowing. It's not percussive like an xylophone or like a piano striking the strings with those little hammers. So we want it to be flowing. So I usually start with a legato song first. So a ballad would be perfect. If you find a ballad you really love, like
Back at one.
Oh my gosh, love it. Brian McKnight. I love Brian McKnight. I grew up on him. I actually, it's kind of a small world, but it's so funny that you said that. I grew up, like, I've known him since I was a baby. So it's so funny that you mentioned that because I grew up with him in my life because he and my uncle did music together, and his song "One Last Cry"? My Aunt Melanie actually helped write that one. She wrote the lyrics, and then Brandon finished the music part. So it's really cool, like, because he'd bring his kiddos to hang out with us. I was on his son's first demo. We made it at Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving Day one year. I was like 14. So it's really funny that you mentioned that, but he has such beautiful pieces. I love Anytime, such a gorgeous one. So many beautiful, beautiful ballads that he has.
Yeah.
And like timeless ballads, beautiful
Doesn't get
ballads.
the credit he deserves.
Yeah, he's one of those like
vocalists,
iconic, like 90s R&B iconic, beautiful. So I love that you mentioned him because he's one of my favorites. Like, genuinely, I love his music. I love his voice. And I feel like your voice actually has a lot of similar qualities to it. Thinking about, like, how smooth it is and, like, that little bit of like smokiness at times that creeps in. I think you've got like a similar sound and a similar range as well. So I feel like his songs would be perfect for you to explore.
I do.
So it's great when you find those people you're like, ooh, yeah, like we have similar voices, and then you just learn all their songs and you're just like, yeah, it feels so good. And so picking a song, and then we're going to work on the techniques within the song, but then towards the end we'll work on more of the expression and performance techniques, those kind of things as well, how we express more and have the musicality and interpretation and making the song your own, right? Because every person's going to interpret a song differently. It means something different to you. So that'll be more of our usual structure. But the first session is really getting to know where your voice is at and coming up with those goals. So for this week, it's going to be working on breath, working on the sustained notes, freeing up the voice, sliding through the range, smoothing out those bridges. That's something that I'm going to be wanting to work on here moving forward. So like next lesson, I think it would be great for us to focus a lot on how do we navigate through those and make them really smooth, where we have control and where you don't hear the bridge happening, that little break. We want to smooth that out. So that's something for the next session I'd really love to work on. So if you could type in the chat at the bottom of your screen, there's a little chat bubble, or you could just text it to me. Send me your email, because I'm going to send you some exercises to work on independently on your own. I'll give you some things to read through, but there are also some videos like on YouTube and things that I find really helpful. And a lot of the videos, what's great is that other teachers, we're working toward the same goal, but they might say it a different way, or they might give you a different exercise than I gave you. So I like finding other videos that sort of reinforce what we worked on in the lesson. And then if you pick out a couple songs that you want to be working on, just text me and let me know what they are, so that I can be sure that I look them up ahead of time, that I can pull music and maybe find the sheet music for it so I can play with you, that kind of thing. So if you just kind of let me know what you're thinking or what you're working on, then I can take a listen to that. And you can also always feel free, if you are practicing and you sing through something and you go, ooh, that sounded really good, and you want to like show me a riff you've conquered, you can like do a little voice memo and email that to me so I can hear what you're doing with it. Or if you're struggling with something, you go, ugh, this spot, like, it's like straining and I don't know what to do. You can record that and send it to me. And then I can give you some tips on how to practice it or how to approach it. I can be like, oh, okay, so here's what I'm hearing. Here's what you're probably doing. And here's what we want to be doing. And here's how to practice that and adjust it. And then two, I'll go, okay, so we need to work on that in our next session. So if you want to do like little recordings of yourself in the week and email them to me, then I can take a listen and give you feedback, and also put that into our lesson plan for the upcoming lesson too. All right?
Okay.
Sound
Yeah.
like a good plan?
Yes.
I'm so excited. This week, I would love for
ready.
you to work on a song, like even if it's just a short chunk of it, like a chorus or a verse and a chorus, and just record yourself singing it and send that to me, just so I can have an idea of when you prepare a song, kind of where it usually is at this point. And then I can hear like, oh, okay, these are the strong points, and like these are some of the weaker points that we can work on polishing. So just find something that you love to sing and just send me a little bit of a recording of it, of a song, so that I can have kind of a reference for where we're at, and kind of build then just a kind of lesson plan moving forward, and put some goals in to that lesson plan and go, okay, we should probably work on this, this, and this. But also then I can kind of help you to lean into your strengths more too, which I think is a really important thing for singers. A lot of the time we get stuck on, oh, I got to get better at this, this, and this. I'm not so good at this, you know? But sometimes just like capitalizing, maximizing the strengths too is something that I think is so helpful. Thank you. All right, I'll add those to the notes. Oh yeah,
Those are
absolutely.
my two favorite right there.
Yes, yes, I love it. Yes. Oh, Boys to Men. Oh, they just beautiful, like blending, and gorgeous.
I'm so thankful that I got to grow up on that era.
Right.
I mean,
And
you got
when
Joe,
voices were
man,
real,
Tevin
like
Campbell.
where they weren't like fixed all the time either.
Exactly.
Like you listen to it and you go, nobody sounds like that live. You know, it's so auto-tuned and like melodined up. And I love just like real voices. So I agree. I love listening to even like back in the 60s, you know, even the 40s, like go back to those raw, real voices like vinyl, you know,
Marvin
like
Gaye.
Aretha, Marvin Gaye. Exactly. Yeah. Like you get those real raw vocals.
The GOAT, Michael.
Yes. Yes, where they're not like correcting everything. the imperfections sometimes are the most beautiful parts. That's why I love listening to jazz and like blues music, because they're like, nah, we love those imperfections. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we live for. And so it just kind of allows you to be free. My voice teacher, sometimes I'll get too in my head and try to be too perfect, and she says, let it go sing some jazz and come back to it, because I get
That's me.
too like, I want it to
Yeah.
be perfect. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, release that. Like, she's like, get out of your head,
Mm-hmm.
free up the voice, go sing some jazz, come back to it later. Because
Get
I
out your
get where I'm
way.
like, I want it to be perfect. And she's like, you're human. You're not perfect. And that's what we love. That's why live music is so beautiful. So, yeah, I want to hear just something you love to sing, and just send me a little bit of a recording so I can hear where you're at. And we'll start looking at these songs in our next session. Yeah? I'm
Okay.
so excited. I
Man,
love that
thank
you were
you.
talking about like hydration, nourishing your body, making sure you've got the energy. So try to not have dairy before the lesson, because that'll thicken the mucus lining, which makes it a little bit harder to vibrate smoothly.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I would say do eat something before the lesson to give you that little pep, because doing a lesson is like, ooh, like this took a lot of strength and a lot of
Yeah.
energy. And when I have a big singing day, like yesterday, I had a huge singing day. At the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I'm so wiped. Like, it's a big endeavor. It's like going to the gym. My student Brock, he'll be in lessons and he's like, why am I sweating so much? And he's like dripping and he's like, whoo. And I'm like, because you're singing this really hard rock song right now.
Yeah.
So nourishing your body, hydrating your body, keep doing the things that you're doing, stretching before you're singing, warming up the body like you would for a workout.
Now, usually, I should have got up and did my workout. That's what I'm going to do every time now
Yeah.
in the morning. Get
I
up,
love
warm
it.
the body up, do my push ups and everything, and then,
Yes. Having the body be warm and moving before you sing, it's going to be a lot easier. Yeah. Awesome.
it
I
opens
love
up
it.
everything.
Yes, good. All right. I've got a really clear vision of where we're going to go. I'm going to email you with kind of my thoughts on what we did today, where we're going to go from here. I'll send you some homework things to be working through. So each day you can be working through different things. And I'll make sure that I'm ready to go through these songs with you. And I'll go listen to like their tone and some of the nuance, some of the tricky riffs that maybe we can work on cleaning up. Make sure we're prepared for those. And if you can just send me that recording this week of you singing a song you love to sing, then we'll be good to go for next time. So,
Okay.
and we'll
Send it
just
to your
text.
email.
Send it to my email, yeah. And we'll just text and we'll get you scheduled for our next session, okay? We'll figure out a
Okay,
good
because
time.
I got a session today at 5, a writing session today.
Ooh,
So,
nice. Awesome. Yeah, and if you just want to like give me updates on like, hey, here's how the writing session went, or like, here's a little bit of a song I wrote. Like, my friend Mustafa, he does that. He'll be like, oh, hey, I like was working on writing a song. Here's a little bit of the chorus, and he's like, tell me what you think, you know. So if you ever want to do that too, I love to hear what you guys are doing, and you know, I can give you that feedback too. Like, Phil's been working on some like acoustic re-recordings of some of his big like produced rock songs that he's been working on, and honestly I love his acoustic recordings, like because you get to hear his voice so much more, and he'll be like, what do you think of this one? And you know, and I'll be like, ooh, that finger picking style is really nice there, and oh, I love what you did with your vocal line here at the bridge, that's really different than your other recording. And so yeah, like I can give you guys little tips and feedback, and it just helps me to know where you're at too with what you're working on. So and
okay.
kind of making sure our focus is still aligned. So,
It
yeah.
is.
So, feel
It's
free
going
to
to
reach
be.
out and just let me know
Ready.
where you're at. That's great. I hope your writing session goes really well.
It's going to. It's been a
Yes.
minute. I
Oh,
have writer's block for a while.
wow. Yeah. So, what I would say for that, what I would really recommend is take like a notebook, or like in your phone, in your notes, like anytime you have any kind of inspiration, jot it down. Something that gives you inspiration, something that sparks your creativity, that makes you feel something. Even if it's like something negative, you look at a painting and you're like, oh, like I feel like icky.
Yeah.
You know, jot that down and be like, the painting at this place, and like how it made you feel. And so anytime you feel any kind of inspiration, any kind of spark of any kind, and you get that like deep moving feelings, jot down what you're feeling at that moment. Jot down what inspired it. And then when you get blocked, you can go back to those notes, back to that notebook, back to your notes app, read through, and it can kind of feed you creatively and be like, oh, I remember that feeling. Yeah, looking at that painting. Or, oh man, yeah, when I had that really intense heart to heart with my brother and we were both crying and like hugged it out. Like, whatever it is, like something that moved you, you can go back and access those memories and feelings and then use that to fuel your writing. And also just like creativity is sparked by fun. So when you have just the weight of the world on you and you're working so hard and you're like hauling all these burdens around, you have to find times to let that go to get your creativity, mixed up. So it's like you have to take time and set it aside, block it off for yourself and say, this is not lifetime. This is creating time. This is nourishing my soul, sparking fun. So find something that's like, this just brings me joy. Like, I love to look at little videos of like baby animals playing, like little bunny rabbits or like little hedgehogs or, like baby cows or whatever, like little goats frolicking. And it just brings me joy, right? So if you find things like that you're like, I love this. It makes me giggle. It makes me feel good. Find those things, like take a walk in nature, watch, ocean waves, even if you have to look up like a video of it and like close your eyes and remember being by the ocean, breathe in the salt air, put yourself back there. Find things that really make you feel good and that inspire you.
It's my little baby. Shariah.
Aww.
Come here. I hope you're not on a tablet or anything yet. You just got up. Come here.
It's a different culture now. First thing.
I mean, I'm guilty too, so as soon as I get up, I'll be like,
oh.
Come here. Come here, real quick. I know you just watch TV, but you're not supposed to right now. Come here. Come say hi.
Hello. Oh,
Say hi,
hello. You are so beautiful. You have gorgeous eyes. My goodness. Wide,
yeah, she gets them from her mom, them big eyes.
Aww. Well, it's wonderful to meet you. I'm Vandy. I'm working with your dad on some music. It's a lot of fun. Oh, can you not hear me? Hello, it's wonderful to meet you. Your dad and I are working on some music. We have a lot of the same types of music we love, and we're working on singing. He's got a writing session later today. Do you like to sing?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like to sing?
Tell her your favorite movie.
Okay.
What's your favorite movie? Trolls.
Oh, and you like to sing all the songs? I love that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
One of my
I
students.
just watch Trolls all the time.
Oh, that's awesome. And then you sing along with it. That's great. That's wonderful. Have you seen the new Moana movie? It has so many good songs. Really good songs.
Yet. We're going to watch that today.
Yeah, the Moana movie that came out. It's so beautiful. The music is great. I think you'll really love
Moana
it.
Too?
It's beautiful. The music is great. The same person who wrote the music for The Family Madrigal wrote the music for it, and Coco the movie, the same person wrote the music for Moana too. So really beautiful music. So it's one of my new favorites, listening to the music from that. You might like it. I like your shirt with the cute animals.
Thank you.
I have 3 dogs myself. So one's a puppy.
No kids?
Not yet. No kids yet. But I've
not yet.
Got puppies. Yep.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Aw, yes you do. I love it. Well, that's sweet. That's really cute. Well, you keep singing and you'll be able to sing duets with your dad. I would love that. That would be so sweet.
Yes.
Maybe you can come to one of our sessions and your dad could even write a duet that you could sing together. That'd be pretty special. And then you could sing it together. You could go to like an open mic night and share it. That would be so beautiful. All righty. Well, it's wonderful to meet you.
Say thank you.
Yeah.
Say
Bye-bye. Have a great
Bye.
day. All right. Well, wonderful, wonderful work today. Let me know how
Thank
the
you.
writing session goes. And I'm really excited to continue from here.
Yes.
It's going to be great. Look for the email from me. I'm going to send that to you later today. So I'm going to go dig around and find some good materials for you to be working with this week. And then
Okay.
we'll get in touch. We'll schedule. I'll send you some dates and times, and we'll make sure that we get a good schedule going for you. All right?
Thank you. Yes.
All right. You have a great rest of your day
You as
and
well.
a wonderful writing session.
I will.
All right. Bye-bye.